Hello, my name's Andy and welcome to the garage. Hello and welcome back to the channel. On the turntable today we have a very bent port wing on a DC-10 of Northwest Airlines. It's an unbranded model. I thought it might have been Matchbox. It was one of the donations from Martin Dare a few months ago. So I'm hoping to turn this into a Kc-10 extender tanker of the US Air Force. So stay with me for this one. It's going to be a little tricky one, quite a bit of customization to get that refueling probe in. Okay, I've reverted to my mains drill at the moment because the chuck's frozen on my other one and I can't get anything in or out of it. So here we go. Whoa, there we are, we're apart. Let's put that down there, we'll take a look at it. Only two parts, bottom and top, relatively easy. Okay, safety goggles are on and we'll start with the cutting. Right. That's one leg off. Right, that's got pretty hot in my hand there. But we got them off. Still some big bits to go. Always close to the engines. But we'll grind those down with something. And some mini wheels left over into the spare parts box. Don't know what for, but they'll be going in there. It is good if you can get a solid piece of wood or something underneath you. Get a bit more pressure on, moves the job along a lot quicker. Okay, our DC-10 is now out of the caustic soda, so we're just going to give it a brush up and see how clean it's done. Right, our DC-10 is out the caustic, it's had a polish. It's not the best of castings, it clips together quite nicely. There we go. There's a bit of work to do there on a casting line. Don't know if you can just see that if I bring that up. Just in front of that middle engine. I'm not going to rivet it back together. I'm going to glue it back together and fill these rivet holes and put it on a stand. So that's the next job. Okay, we're just going to glue our DC-10 back together. Bit of glue around the posts. Stubborn bit of red paint there, not going to see that. Bit of glue on the inside. Do with a good splodge on the back end like that. There we go. And she'll simply push together. And there she is. I'm going to put a bit of glue around there. Going to let that set. Okay, I've got the first coating of bicarbonate soda, if that's the right word, on there. So now we're just going to do the second bit. Let's put that to one side. Hey, missed. Of course it'd help if I tipped it like that. What I'm going to do as well is start on this when that lot's set. Try and get rid of these ugly lines. Try and make what is the best of not a particularly good casting, really. We've got to fit the boom for the boom operator. Now, looking at pictures, it's directly below this leading edge of the tailplane, and it looks to be 2 or 3 thicknesses of the engine, so this looks about right. And it's the boom's 2 parts. There's the outer part, and then there's an extending part that comes out, and the length of it is to the back of here, to there. So what I need to do is cut myself a piece of this, drill a hole about there, drill a hole there or there for the stand. I've also got to make some fins for this boom when I've cut it, because it's a flying boom. The boom operator sits in the back somewhere here. Well, I'm presuming it's in the back, and he can see on the video screen the jet coming in, and he directs the boom into the receptacle to transfer the fuel. Incidentally, the Kc-10, it can also use a drogue chute to fill up other Allied aircraft that don't have the US Air Force spec refiller. The RAF, for instance, and other NATO allies. Right, I've marked where the holes need to be for the stand and the boom. So I'm just going to punch a hole. It's very difficult because this is obviously round and it keeps moving. Wedged it in there. I'm just going to get on and drill it. I've got a hole in that one. I'm not sure about the other one. See what happens when we get to it. I don't want to bend the plane. That's why I'm not a bit sceptical about hitting it. Hopefully you can see that. Let's have a look. Right, through for the stand quite easily, and I'm just holding the drill in place with my fingers. Can't hold this one with my fingers. Right, we have our 2 holes. There you can see them. Stand's going to be this, so that's definitely too small a hole at the moment. Drill that hole a bit wider now. This one too, just a touch. Right, I've cut another length for the boom because I'm going to have to stick it in all the way. Bend it back like that. Stuff bends really easy. And I might have to hammer that in because that needs to be not rounded, it's quite close into the fuselage. Right, we're just looking at the boom. The main boom comes out as far as here, the end of the aircraft, the main fuselage. So that's going to be, if I mark it, about there. Then there's a bit further, goes on, that's the inner boom, and there's a wing in there somewhere. So now I've got that bit, what I'm going to do is just file around here, cut it off to length, file around it so it's a smaller diameter, or it visibly appears to be a smaller diameter for the end here. First thing I'll do is just try and get it about right all the way around. You can see that I'm just filing it down. I might be better actually with a Dremel, just running it up and down with a grinding wheel. I think I might give that a go. Now this, the end of the boom, has to be noticeably thinner. So it's going to be a bit of work, and I'll do that off camera. Right, I've cut this down. What I've been doing is just holding on there with my fingers, just rounding it and turning it. It is, for my eyes, noticeably a bit narrower. That'll be accentuated when I put the flying tailplane about there. So, and that's yet to be fixed in, but it's going to be something like that. I've left the top off this super glue at some point, and it started to go a bit hard and stringy. Could be at the end of its life. Nevertheless, I'll do this last job. All I've got to do is hold that down there for a few minutes. Wish I've got some of that activator now. Just put it into there. And we're going to leave that there, and we'll have to put a bit more glue around. What we'll do is we'll leave that to go off, and as you can see, it's going to be there. I've had a look from it. It looks okay. I'll still be able to bend that if I want to. And as you can see, our stand's coming along. That just all wants cleaning up now. So we're getting there with the Kc-10. Right, we're back with our Kc-10. Just going to black out the engines. Punched out some holes in some tape. Just put it over to try and get a perfect circle. So it's just a matter of going round. If you can see that. And pulling off the tape. Doesn't look too bad. There we go. I hope you can see that. One thing I've learned about these small aircraft is temper down your expectations. They're very difficult to do because they are so small. You're not going to get the detail that you want to get. Right. Just done the engine cowls of the Kc-10. Now I've got to do the nose. I've got some new marker pens that have got a lot finer point. CD marker pen for this. And really at this level, it's just a touch around the nose and the cockpit. And I really don't even know if this has got a fine enough point for that. But let's try and get it so you can see it. It really is the tip. Right, can you see that there? It is just the tip of it. And to be honest, I'm pleased with that. It's not perfect, but God knows how you'd improve on it. It's just like dabbing like that. That's all you can do, dab it. There we go. Right, hopefully you can see that. got the engines, got a bit on the nose. Now those windows should be blacked out, and I think even with a cocktail stick and a bit of paint, that's going to be difficult, but that's what I'm going to try and do. So here goes. Right, I think you can just see that. Now that does have an aluminium looking frame around it. I don't think I'm going to try that. That is going to be a step too far. This was difficult enough, let alone painting or dabbing an even thinner line between it. So there we are, a bit of highlighting in black. And I think at this level, this scale, you're just looking at the impression that something's there. You can't do much more. And just to emphasize that, on the top of the plane here, there is like a little V shape, because that's where the receptacle is for the tanker to be refueled. And I did do a decal for that, and you can see how small that is. I'm not even going to try and put it on, because that one's the best defined one that I printed. But as you can see, it's just a line, whereas in actual fact that is a line and a sequence of dots. So that's the difficulty at this scale. So we're going to leave that there, and then we've got some US Air Force decals to put on. Right, we're just ready to put our first decal on the Kc-10, US Air Force, and it's in line with the window. So it's gone on smoothly. That is probably too big a decal, but any smaller and we couldn't read it. It'd be just a black smudge. So that's one side done. Got the other side to do. Right, we're on with the other side. Just get it on the plane first. If I use a cotton bud, you'll be able to see it better going on. So these are black lettering on clear. Just need to find what's happening the other side. That needs to come down a fair bit. Take a look. That's in line with the bottom of the windscreen on this side, and it's straight. So that needs to come down a fair old bit. I think that's about it. So it's straight. And I should be able to see from the top, I don't know if you can, that one starts about there. So they're both starting in about the same place. I think that's good enough. You'll notice I've got the boom, but I've not got the boom wing, the flying part of the boom. I've not put that on yet because that's just going to get knocked off. This part of the engine, the rear, should be in silver. I tried to do it with a brush marker pen, but to be honest, you can't see it at all. So I've got some Molotow pen on a bit of a cocktail stick, and I'm going to try and put it on with that. It's going to be a slow job. Need to get settled in a better position. There's a bit on there. We'll put that down again. We'll think about the next bit. Right, here we go. It's on me thumb. It's come off. Right, you can see it now. This is going to be delicate, I can tell you that. That needs to come forward to meet the other side. Then it needs to get up to be level. Right, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just delicately touching it. I'm going to take it out of view off the camera and show you it when I get back. Because it's at such a bad angle for me to do it, and to be honest, I can't see it. So I'll have to stop the camera there and show you it when I've done it. Right, here we are. I don't know if you can see that there. There's a little nick, not quite covered there, but that's okay. I can put a bit more decal on that. The back looks really good, spot on. So I've got the back spot on, the sacrifice for the front, but I know I can fix that. So we're just going to put that down and let that decal go off. Okay, we're on with the United States flag on the tailplane, and I tell you, this is difficult. Just can't even see it. I think what I'm going to do is just get it on the edge of this knife. It's still on there. Right, just try and peel it off there. Right, it's off. Just move it about. It goes on the front of the tailplane. There's a lot of water under there. And conveniently, there is a line just there. So I've put it on that line. And I'll do the other one the same side. So one more to go. I mean, these are even difficult to pick up. I don't know if you can see. There's the next one there. Try and pick it up with the end of your knife. Don't get it. Look, it's like tiddlywinks. You probably can't see this. I don't know if I'll be cutting this out, but right, I've got it on the end there. Just grab it on my fingers. Get rid of the old one. Put it in the water. And that looks good. That looks very good at the moment. I'm pleased with that. So I'm going to put that down. Just this bit of yellow I want to correct at the front. What I did was I cut an old number plate badge from Simon Tempera. I just need a bit of that to go over there. We've not got the boom on yet, but we have got a boom. If I show it to you. There's the boom. Not quite a round shape, a sort of odd shape, not the perfect shape. I'm gluing that on at the end because that is going to be a bit precarious once that's on, easy knocked off. And as you've also already seen, we've got a base in shiny black. But the base has come in handy just to keep the thing secure. So we're almost there. Just the boom really to put on. Right, we're going for the boom. Now, just need to drop of super glue there. Just need to right. I decided you had to have a boom just for effect. It's probably not to scale. and the boom operator flies the pump tube into the receiving aircraft's receptacle, and he sits in the back somewhere looking at a TV screen now. Right, that's on. It's been a tricky little thing to do, this Kc-10, I can tell you, just due to the scale, and because it had such a rough undercarriage, it's very difficult not to lose detail underneath, etc. So at the end of the day, I realised all you can go for is a lookalike. A nice lookalike. You can't do too much, because it could easily go west. Okay, I have decided to try and do these engine cowl chrome fronts. Just gonna see how I get on. I've had a practice. It's gonna be a very slow job. Right, hopefully you can see there's a bit of chrome on the edges there. What I'll do, I'll keep going. Okay, I've been reviewing the video and I just wanted to show you what colour paint we've used here. Gunmetal grey wheel paint. So I've just got to touch up the boom. I have tried to do the silver on the cowls. I need to go around with a bit of black pen. Okay, I thought I'd just share this with you on the Kc-10 extender. This is a observer's book of aircraft. Not sure of the year. Let's have a quick look. 1982. And at this time, the US Air Force was still equipping with the extender, and they did end up with 60 of these, and they retired them only last year in October 2023. So they were a great workhorse for the US Air Force, and the Netherlands Air Force flew them too. So without further ado, let's see ours on the turntable, shall we? Well, this is what we started with. An unbranded McDonnell Douglas DC-10 from Northwest. Wing well bent. Hope you enjoyed this video. So let's see what we've ended up with. Well, here is our Kc-10A extender tanker of the US Air Force. Huge thing, 3 engines. Took part in support of the Gulf Wars, having come into service in '82, and numerous other US Air Force missions. I hope you like this one. It has been a challenge to do. These 1/300th scale aeroplanes are really difficult. You can only do your best on them, and that's what I've tried here. You can't do everything you would even on a 1/64th scale car, but it's another one to my collection, and I'm pleased I've rescued it, and thank you Martin Dare for donating it. Next week we'll be back with some vehicles with wheels. I'll leave you with the Kc-10 extender US Air Force tanker aircraft. And there is our Kc-10A in the centre of the cabinet. It's not going to stay there, it's going to go in the house with all the other aeroplanes. So that's its one and only display in this cabinet. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.